Hello! I am so sorry for the delay. I, for some reason, thought that I scheduled it for like 15 minutes from now. So, whoopsies! Also, I scheduled one last night and then I got really tired and I decided to do it today. So if you saw that as well, I'm really sorry. It went from saying it was in like 30 minutes to saying it was in 14 hours. So that's kind of what happened there, if you were wondering. Most of the time, I don't schedule them. I just kind of like hop on and do it whenever I want. And so it was kind of weird to schedule it in a way because I was like, I actually don't know if I'm going to do it at exactly this time, but I was kind of hoping for the best. So, because on my days off, I kind of just like, it kind of varies when I actually do things. So let me just tweet it and like post it and everything. All I can hear is very loud thunder and lightning. Okay, so let me just post the link and then we'll get started. So think of things you want to talk about or ask me or anything like that. And yeah, I'm planning to do it for hopefully about an hour and then I have some stuff I have to do. So that's kind of the plan. That's the plan, Stan. So I'm on Twitter now. Live stream. Okay, let me just post this. Come say hi. Posted, and then I'm going to go on Facebook, and then I'll be done. And then we can really talk. Also, so today I'm getting a haircut, and I never know if I should like wash my hair before I get a haircut, if that makes sense, because they're going to wash it there, right? But I also feel bad like making someone touch my hair when it's not clean. So it's always this weird thing, like, what do? Do you wash your hair before you get it cleaned at the salon, or do you just let them wash it? I don't know. I'm overthinking it, but I'm like, I kind of want to wash it, but I don't want it to be washed twice. So I didn't wash it. That's why it looks like this. Okay, I'm on Facebook now. Live stream. Come say hi, okay? I'll publish that. Okay, we're good. So let me go back to the comments. Let me see. People are saying hi. Hi. Oh, cool. You are live and I'm awake. Woo! Ooh, you're from Kuwait. That's awesome. Starbucks, what do you usually get that isn't much carbs? That was from David Stevens. I like to get just plain iced coffee, but I actually like the taste of coffee, so it's not gross to me. I get plain iced coffee, and then I get a flavor in it too, like caramel or vanilla, and then I just add a little bit of half and half, and it's not that much. It's definitely not low carb, but it's not like Frappuccino high carb. I usually guess between like 25 and 30 if I get a huge one. But if you get the smaller one, it's really not that much. At least for me, it doesn't affect my blood sugar that bad. It's like 15 grams at that point if it's little. Yeah. How's Amber? She's good. She's sleeping right here. Here, let me go back to the screen where I can see myself so I can show you her. This is so weird. Okay, there we go. Ready? Hi, honey. She's hanging out. Fun fact, Amber's is also getting a haircut today. She's not getting a full haircut because she already got one of those pretty recently and it's still growing back, but she's getting a face trim. You can see her face just gets overgrown with hair and you can't see her eyes and it's sad. So, and she can't see us, probably very good. So we're gonna go do that today. So it's a hair day for both of us, which is really exciting. If you don't care about dogs, you're probably like, wow, who cares? But I care about her a lot. Let me go back up. Frog726 says, I started watching your videos the day that I got back from the hospital. That's awesome. I'm glad I could be there for you. She got the Twitter notification. That's cool. People are saying they either don't wash it or they sometimes do. See, that's what I mean. I didn't wash it because you don't want to wash it twice in a row and like dry out your hair, right? Although my hair is kind of already dry, but that's okay. Someone's from Norway, someone's from Holland. I bet I'm going to get a lot of international people this live stream because I'm not doing it at a time in the US where like people are off work yet. So unless you like work from home or have weird hours like me, you probably aren't going to see it in America. So it's cool. Other countries, it works kind of well for you, maybe. Or maybe it's like midnight. I don't know. Let's see. Can you tell me, Laura Waddell, sorry, Waddell probably. Can you tell me what the conversion from US levels to UK levels is, like when you say 150? I usually just Google it. There's like a conversion tool. If you write milligrams per deciliters to millimoles per liters, I'll type it in the comments so you can see what I'm talking about. So we use milligrams per deciliter in America, and you use millimoles per liters in other countries. So I'll type it in the comments. You can see how you write that. If you type that into Google, it'll pop up a conversion tool and you can just put it in. I think it's like you multiply yours by like 19 or something, but I don't do it that way. I just put it in the internet because I like it. Oh, divide by 18. Just kidding. That's what Eden said. But I like the conversion tool because there's no math and you just type in your number and it's awesome. Yeah. Stephanie says she's battling so many highs because she's sick. That's the worst. I'm sorry. It like sucks because you're already sick and you're already not feeling good, and then you're also high, and that doesn't make you feel any better. Let's see. Heidi says, my 9-year-old is battling highs all day yesterday and today. Any ideas would be appreciative. It's really hard to give feedback without knowing like details. But things that I would try if I was high all day, I would change my infusion set. I would make sure my insulin didn't go bad by changing that out. I would, if it's a continual pattern, I would adjust my basal rates. If it's only after meals, I would adjust my insulin to carb ratio. Those are just kind of things I look at. Also look at if they're sick, their blood sugar could be high more. I don't know if this is a girl or a boy, but if she's on her period, then that could go high more. Or just stress with school starting, stuff like that. There's like so much that could go into it. It's hard to say without like knowing details. But Tommy said he asked me about pumps in an old live stream and now he has one and he loves it. Yay, that's awesome. I'm glad you like it. I like it too. Chris says he gets a buzz cut, so it doesn't matter if he washes his hair. That's awesome. Angelita says tips with diabetes and hormones. Do you mean like hormones raising your blood sugar? Because trying to remember, like, so I made a whole video about this, but when I'm on my period, TMI, woohoo, alert, I'm gonna talk about my period. I need more insulin basically. So if I'm consistently running high because I'm gonna start, then I just do an increased basal, like plus 20 to 30% for me all the time. But it just depends. Like, I don't know. It's hard because hormones are really hard to like measure or know how much there are. So you really just have to be monitoring your blood sugars closely, checking frequently, or using your CGM so that you can kind of see what they're doing. David said, what is your favorite YouTube channel diabetes related? I'm from South Wales, UK. That's awesome. When I was in the UK, I really wanted to go to Wales and I didn't end up making it, but favorite YouTube channel for diabetes. There's really not that many. I wish there was more. I really like Elise Gentry. She's really cool. She does more than just diabetes. She does regular videos too. And then the Dale Tribe is pretty cool. They're not strictly diabetes either. They're just daily vloggers, but they talk about diabetes a lot on there. And so I really like them. Chris says it's his day off. Me too. It's really hard to scroll on these. My goodness. My goodness. Yeah, I totally just lost my place. 1 second. Okay. Hi from Iowa. Hello. You pronounced it correct. Yay. For Waddell. It's Waddell. Perfect. Why would it be Waddle? That doesn't make any sense. Mia's sick too. Mia's life is sick. Can you make me feel better? Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm not really doing anything, but good. Chris said anything can throw off blood sugar levels. So true. So very true. Even the weather, even walking through a grocery store can throw off blood sugar levels. Type 1D Lindsay says, do you think everyone should try a CGM? That's an interesting question. Do I think everyone should try? I think so. Is that weird to say? I don't think right away necessarily. Like, I know as a newly diagnosed diabetic who is scared of needles, I would not want to put something in my body like that right away. I think that's fine. But like once you've adjusted to it and you're ready to try something new, I would say CGMs are so helpful. I'm sure you've heard this before because I've said it a million times, but in 3 months, my A1C dropped from 7.4, I think it was, maybe 7.3 to 6.9. And that was in 3 months. Just all I changed was I was using a CGM. I felt like I was doing everything else the same, but obviously like adjusting for blood sugars and stuff. But just having that more information really helped me to be able to fine tune stuff. So I think it's worth it. My endocrinologist said that for some people it's too much information, like it's overwhelming and it's hard to even know what parts of that information is important. But for me, it's great because I catch high blood sugars quicker, because sometimes like if you're asleep, you're not going to know that you're high necessarily until you wake up. And then in that time you've jumped to like 300, or the opposite of that, I don't always feel my lows until I'm super low. And so then it would be like, instead of catching it at 70, I would catch it at like 28. So if you don't know, that's super low. Put it in that conversion tool. 28 is like super low. So I think it's super beneficial. I think it's worth a shot, worth a try if you're able to, like financially and everything and like insurance wise. But then if you don't like it, you just don't have to do it. But give it some time though too. I saw someone commented and they said that they tried it for a day, but it was too off and so they gave up. And I just let them know, like, you should really try it longer than a day. A day is not enough. The first day after you first insert a new sensor, it can be a little bit off as it's like adjusting to your body. So I think that it's worth like giving it more time than that. Tommy Elder said, how do you prevent lows during workouts if you can't feel them? I think you hit enter too soon. To prevent lows during workouts, I do a temporary basal. When I was on shots, I would have to drink or eat carbs beforehand, but now that I'm on a pump, I just decrease my insulin during that time. For my runs in the morning, I usually do negative 80% for usually an hour, just so that I have a little bit of a buffer. I don't run for a whole hour, but that's what I do for mine, and it works pretty well. Sometimes it really depends, like on your workout. Later you might end up going high, but then usually the exercise catches up to me and I go low, so, or like back down. And sometimes I still go low towards the end of the workout, and then I just always have snacks on me, basically. Abby has an appointment tomorrow for her diabetes at the hospital. Good luck. I'm sure it'll be great. It's just there to help you out. Don't be too nervous. Even though I've been doing this a long time, sometimes I still get a little bit nervous. And I'm like, I think it's just because I think that they're going to judge me, even though most of the time they never judge me. I just worry that they're going to, but they don't. I have a really good endocrinologist. So Libby says, thinking about getting a Dexcom, is it really accurate or question mark, question mark? Most of the time it is, I would say. It's not going to be as accurate as finger sticks because it tests from the interstitial fluid, which is the fluid in between cells. So it's not actually from the blood, and so it can be a little bit off. That's why you have to calibrate it with blood sugar checks. But it's great for seeing trends. It gives you an arrow so you can see if you're going up or down or staying level, which really helps decisions, because I will make a completely different decision if I'm 100 with an up arrow or 100 with a down arrow, or even 100 with a straight arrow. If I'm 100 with a down arrow, I'm probably going to eat something or at least follow it closely. If it's an up arrow, obviously I'm not. Like, it just really helps you make good decisions. And again, like I said, the alarms are really what is great for me. So Type 1 lad said, I wish CGM was more funded for people in the UK. I do too, honestly. People still see it as like a luxury or something, but I don't think so. I couldn't even imagine going back to not having it. So I think that it's really necessary. Not necessary, but like so helpful, and it's probably going to decrease a lot of complications and ultimately be less expensive for healthcare because it's going to prevent all those expensive problems later in life. Type 1D Lindsay said, what's the highest your A1C has been? My highest was obviously at diagnosis. It was like 13 or something like that. But besides that, it was it was either 8.0 or 8.1. And that was years ago. Nice mug. Thanks. I actually got this when I was in England. I got it from the grocery store. I think it was Waterstones. Is that what your grocery store is called? I really like it. It works well. Great time to change my set, LOL. Yes, it is. I'll hang out while you change your set. Other people like the Dale tribe. That's awesome. Bailey Han says, do you plan on having children ever? I do. I keep getting asked frequently now. For some reason, I must have hit the age where I look like I should have kids, or maybe it's just because I work with kids, but like a lot of the families of the patients at work have been asking me if I have kids. And I'm like, no, I just like kids. No, I don't say it like that, but I'm like, no, not yet. I just like kids. But yeah, eventually, I mean, I want to get married first and be married for a little bit and then have kids. But yeah, I have been following Six and Tell Me, and there's other bloggers that are diabetic and they have had pregnancies and they've been successful and everything. But it's just, it looks like so much work. It's crazy how like calculated you have to be with your blood sugars and how perfect things, not perfect, but how much you have to be focused on it. It's like, looks like a lot of work, but I think it'd be totally worth it. I absolutely love kids and I definitely want some of my own someday. So I'm willing to do all that work to have healthy kids, but childbirth sounds horrible. I had like, obviously in nursing school, I had a labor and delivery rotation. And also like in my new job, if we don't have a lot of patients in pediatrics, we actually float to labor and delivery. And it's just like, the amount of stuff your body has to go through to have a baby is just insane. And so add diabetes on top of that, it sounds like an event, but it's okay. It'd be fine. Oh, Bailey's pregnant right now. That's awesome. You can definitely do it. There's plenty of people who have done it. And I have a friend who doesn't take the best care of her diabetes, but she had a baby who's healthy. So, I mean, I'm not saying don't take care of it, but I'm just saying like, give grace as long as you're trying the best that you can. That's all you can really do. So, but obviously the better your blood sugars, the better for the baby. But I know it's so hard. I can't even imagine. I'm sure when I get there, I'll be vlogging all about it. Anne says, do I have to pay for my CGM? I have insurance, so a lot of it is covered, but not all of it. I have a copay. I think my deductible is like $1,000. So once you hit your deductible, then it's less. I don't know. I pay a portion, a small portion. If I didn't have insurance, it would be very tough. Very tough. Antioxaprano's on her lunch break. Awesome. Happy to entertain. How's work going? Caitlin Coventry Cox said, did you tell your professors you were diabetic? I'm a senior, but was just diagnosed this summer and can't decide. I do have CGM alarms in my vibe, though, but my profs haven't noticed them. I totally recognized your name for a second, and I thought I knew you, but then you said you were diagnosed this summer, so never mind. Wrong person. That's weird, though. Okay, so my first class, freshman year of college, I went up and I told my professor, and then as I was telling them that I was diabetic and I might have to eat snacks or leave, I was just realizing that I didn't really have anything to tell them. Like, I was like starting to talk about it, and then I was like, so I might have to, and I was trying to think of what could be disruptive, and I was like, leave or eat during class. And then that was kind of all I had. And she was like, okay. And then I realized, like, it's fine. Like, at least in my college, I went to a big state school. So you're allowed to leave whenever you want. It's not high school. You're allowed to eat snacks in class whenever you want. It's not high school. You're allowed to look at your phone whenever you want. It's not high school. Like, they might call you out on it, but maybe not. So I don't know. Like, I just felt like it actually wasn't necessary because there's a lot more freedom in college. I guess the one thing you could say is like, oh, I might, like on the off chance, this has never happened to me, but I could potentially pass out, and you just call 911. But I feel like if anybody passed out anyway, you would call 911. And I do wear a medical ID. So I don't know. After that, I was like, I don't think that's really necessary. And so I didn't. But it's a personal decision, like what makes you feel more comfortable. You know your own care and what you might need during class. And if those needs are pretty high or you feel like an inconvenience, you might want to let them know ahead of time. Or if you're worried about like going low during a test or something like that. But that's just kind of what I did, and it worked fine. Madeline says, hi. Hi, Madeline. That is a cool way to spell your name. That's really cute. Aw, Piggy Kisses XOXO says, I'm the one who sent you a picture of my school project, and you were under my hero spot. That was so cute and well done. I really, really liked that. That made me feel really happy. So thanks for making that and showing me it. Jody's from South Africa. Hello. My A1C is, Chris is saying, my A1C with the CGM went from 6.9 to 5.8. That's crazy. And how long? How long did that take? Sophie had her A1C today, and it was 8.3. Nice job. So someone asked, who asked? Aaron Dunkley said, what's your blood sugar right now? Let me go to where I can see myself. Okay, there we go. Right now it is it backwards for you or is it just backwards for me? 168. That's where I'm at. I didn't bolus for my coffee or anything because sometimes I drink coffee at home really slow and so I don't want to bolus because I don't know how much I'm going to have, if that makes sense. Let's see. Oh yeah, now I see. Yeah, it's not backwards for you. There's a little bit of a delay and so I can see it on the actual video what you're saying. So that's kind of cool. I don't know what that is. You guys are awesome. You guys are asking so many questions. I'm like trying to pick certain ones. Frank says using the Freestyle Libre, getting the trend now. I'm curious how that is. I feel like it's interesting to me. It's like a CGM, but it's not because you have to like wave the meter over the sensor, right, to get a number. So I feel like if you're going to wear all that, you might as well just have a CGM, right? Right? And then you also can get alarms when you go high or low, which is nice because otherwise you'll have to like overnight, I would have to wave it over the sensor instead of just letting it pick up. And you're already having something else on your body, so I don't see why you wouldn't just have a CGM. But maybe someone could explain it to me if you use it. Tammy says, what's your insulin to carb ratio? Oh, and I totally just lost it. Dang it. There's the second part of your question. Scroll up, scroll up. Just curious because I'm an LADA and I think I'm now past the honeymoon stage. I am a 1 to 10 ratio. At first I was a 1 to 15 and then I was a 1 to 12 and I'm a 1 to 10. And I've been 1 to 10 for years. So I think that's kind of where I'm going to sit probably, hopefully. Type 1 lad said if I'm out shopping, I go negative 20% on my pump because I tend to go low. Only recently started doing this though. Yes. If you go to Target, especially for some reason, Target, I think it just sucks you in mentally and you just don't think about it and then boom, you're low. Same with the grocery store. So especially if I'm already hovering close to low, I will definitely do negative insulin because it's all the walking. You don't realize how much you're walking in the store, but you are. Same with the mall. It's like a trap for low blood sugar, which sometimes it's fun because you're like, oh, I'll get a smoothie while I'm here or something like that. Aaron Dunkling said, I'm curious if there's anyone in here that's not diabetic. I'm curious too. I don't know if non-diabetics come to the live streams or not, but there's definitely non-diabetics that watch the videos, which I think is awesome. Sometimes they have another chronic condition, which is cool. So they kind of compare just the work of doing chronic things. I don't know, doing like medical care every day. Or they have a family member with diabetes or a friend with diabetes, or diabetes just interests them. And I think that's really cool that they're learning from a diabetes YouTube channel and they don't even have it. I think that's awesome. I don't know if anybody in here is right now. Rosie's getting a Dexcom tomorrow. Congrats. That's awesome. Morgan says, what places do you check besides your fingers? I only use my fingers. The SS girl says, I'm in bed and relaxing, realize now that I am lying on so many test strips. That's hilarious. That happens to me like all the time. Aaron also says, do you still use the Genteel? I don't. I was just trying the Genteel out because they contacted me and I really liked the idea of like pain-free testing, obviously. But if you watched my video on it, you saw that it didn't really work for me particularly. If you want to see more information, just go to my channel, Diabetic Danica, type in the search bar Genteel, and it should pop up. Because I do have a coupon code if you want to try it to get some off. I forget what it is. It's probably like Danica 15 off or something. It'll say in the description. But yeah, it does work for a lot of people, but I think my body, my pain receptors are really close to the surface, so it still hurt for me. But I've heard a lot of people, especially little kids, say that it doesn't hurt anymore, and so that way they can poke their fingers and it doesn't hurt. So for me, it just didn't work, but try it out. Why not? Bart Steinberg says, how do you heal skin that is injected too much? Think sun is not rotating sites enough. That's exactly how you heal it. You rotate more. I realized that although I was rotating, this was a while ago, I wasn't rotating like within a site, So I would go from like hips to lower back to legs. But once I got to that spot, like once I got to my right leg, let's say, I wasn't rotating within that. I would like put it around the same spot every time on my right leg. And so then I started doing better at rotating within a site. So like this part of my leg, this part of my leg, this part of my leg, so that I let skin heal. So yeah. Clara Montgomery says, what are some of your favorite books, and do you have any recommendations for books with diabetes in them? Something fiction, not necessarily informative. Some of my favorite books. This is going to sound cliche, but I really like The Hunger Games. I read that before it was a movie. I like so many books that it's hard to like narrow it down. Growing up, I loved Little House on the Prairie, and The Chronicles of Narnia, and I like a lot of books. I really like the Mindy Kaling books. Those are awesome. As far as recommendations for books with diabetes, something fiction, I really liked Islands and Insulin by Erin Spinito. I did a video book review on that, actually, if you want to look at it. But that was really good. It's not fiction. It's about her life, but it's written in a way that kind of seems like it's a novel. There is a lot of sailing terminology in there, which if you don't know sailing, which I don't, that part was a little bit tricky, but it was like she explains it enough where it was okay. And then I read some other books like when I was first diagnosed a long time ago, and even then they were very outdated. So I'd worry to like suggest those to you now because they were super outdated then. So they're probably really outdated now, but I read one that was called Return to Skokie Lake, and it was like about horse riding and being diagnosed with diabetes. I read one, I think it was called Shoot for the Hoop, and it was about a basketball player, like a kid basketball player who got diabetes. And those were like fiction-y style. I really want to read, I think it's called Sugar Linings by Sierra Sanderson. That one looks really good. And Carrie Sparling's book looks really good too. What's it called? I don't remember. But it looks good. So if you've read those, let me know about them. Tell me what you think. I don't know how to say your username. WURMTMS1. You being a type 1 on the labor and delivery floor will help other type 1s. I had a nurse during my first delivery who had no idea what a pump was and was argumentative about my diabetes care. I have already noticed that. I had a patient in pediatrics who had an insulin pump, and I was really, really glad that I got her as a patient because I understood more. Like, they were surprised that I knew kind of what I was talking about, and I was like, yeah, I'm diabetic too, and I have a pump, and they were really happy about that. And so I think it really helped to just be flexible with them, let her put her pump back on, like let her bolus from her pump, stuff like that. I know if it was me in the hospital, I would appreciate that. So I was happy that I could do that for her. Wow, type 1 lad says, and starting on insulin or insulin pump, probably an insulin pump. My A1C was 12% and now it's 7% in 8 months. That's amazing. Y'all have great A1Cs, 6.8, 6.0, crazy. Oh, and I lost my place again. Scroll up, scroll up. Dang it. I'm trying. Okay, there it is. Oh, my brother's here. Hi, Paul. I lost my spot again. Okay, there we are. Rodley218 says, I was curious where you're at with your CDE, like where I'm at in terms of getting it. I'm still waiting. I have to have 2 years of experience and 1,000 teaching hours. Right now I'm at 1 year of experience and nowhere near 1,000 teaching hours. So I'm guessing that once I have my experience, I'll have to get a job without being certified as an educator, like just get an educator job to get the 1,000 hours. So I think it'll be a while before I'm certified, but maybe not as long before I'm doing diabetes education, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to get, honestly. WiseGal99 said, my son is at school. I'm watching his Dex and he's 140. That's amazing. My mom would have loved to have that when I was a kid in school. To be able to see your kid's blood sugar while they're at school is just like so awesome. Erin Dunkling says, do you watch Jen Greaves on YouTube? I do, actually. I forgot about her. She's cool. Mia's Life says, is your dog a diabetic dog? No, she's not. She's just a regular dog. Oh, wait. There we go. She's doing a great job being quiet for the live stream. Nope, she's just a regular dog. She's not trained or anything. I mean, she's trained in some ways, but not diabetes. Holy cow. Joe Hardy says, I just found out 3 weeks ago that I've been misdiagnosed for 11 years. I have type 1, not type 2. That is crazy. Eden says, is Libre accurate? I was told it wasn't. I haven't heard. Type 1 lad says it can be, but when I used it, my sensor was bad. Interesting. Constance Jeanette Henderson has her endo appointment tomorrow. Good luck. Aaron Dunkling says, Target smoothie, perks of being a diabetic, right? Eden asked if I'm on Beyond Type 1. I am on Beyond Type 1. I don't use it that much, but I've used it a couple times. It's really cool if you haven't heard of it. Beyond Type 1 is an app. I don't know. I was running out of space on my phone. Oh, there it is. It's an app. It's like a social network for diabetics, basically, and they're really awesome on there. So it looks like that. You can't see anything. Wow, that was not helpful. I'm trying to see what my name is on here. Oh, my name's Diabetic Danica on Beyond Type 1, so go add me. I refer to a lot of people, so I'm gold level, which is super exciting. Like I said, I don't use it a whole lot, but every once in a while. My brother says, I'm not diabetic. No, he's not. Aw, Jessica Upton says she's not diabetic, but her fiance is, as well as several of the children you've adopted. That is the cutest story I've ever heard. That's awesome. That's really cool. I love that. I want to see a picture of your family. Is that weird? As I was saying that, I'm like, that's kind of weird, but that's a really cute story. Oh, Adela, I must be really behind on comments. Adela says, I'm not diabetic, but I watch your videos. I have dysautonomia. And because of that, my blood sugar drops a lot. And I have a friend and her daughter is type 1. Awesome. Emily C says she's non-diabetic. I have juvenile arthritis. So you're right about having another chronic illness. I'm also a student pediatric nurse. I think it's probably just curiosity why I watch you. That's awesome. I'm a pediatric nurse and diabetic. Yeah, I think it's the chronic illness thing. People can just relate. Kristen Mann is not a diabetic. Wow, there's a lot more of you than I thought. Peds nurse that works with newly diagnosed type 1 kids. I learned so much here. Awesome. You're welcome. So basically people are saying the Libre is a lot cheaper than a CGM. But it's like not a CGM. I don't know. I guess it saves finger pokes. So if that's your only other option, then I guess it's a good thing. But also if it's not very accurate, then it makes it hard. Yeah, boy. Empress here's another dog barking. So she's getting a little riled up. I don't know if you heard that. She was like starting to bark. Anyway, I guess it's cheaper. Do you use Wattpad? No, I don't. That's the thing to write a book, right? I don't use it, but my friend does. Angelita says, what's your religion? I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus. Type 1 lad said the stream is so delayed, like 10 minutes delayed. I think it's just because I'm reading comments delayed. It's about, well, I'll count. I'll raise my hand and see how long it takes for me to see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my gosh, it is really delayed. 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, it's really delayed. You're right. 15. Yeah, I still haven't raised my hand. Okay, there it did. 17-second delay. I'm just reading comments from a while ago because I didn't want to miss the ones that I wanted to see. I don't know. Okay. The SS girl says, can you still go to diabetes camp? No, I'm too old. I'm 24. Oh, Amber just went outside and she's just looking around. She's so cute. So my brother said, what is your favorite analogy for what it is like to live with type 1D? I actually did make a video about this. I compared it to having a little baby, little infant, because like they need a lot of attention and care, and in the middle of the night they wake you up sometimes begging for food. So it's kind of like that, at least with a CGM, because it's screaming at you like a little baby crying. Yep, pretty much. Let's see. Yep, let's come here. Good girl. You want to see her? Look, she's awake. Hi, honey. Say hi. You want to say hi to everybody? She, like I said, if you missed it, she's getting a face trim today. So we're going to trim up that face so you can see your eyes. You don't want to be in the spotlight? She's just so cute. I could literally watch her all day. But you probably couldn't. You're probably bored, but that's okay. Hi, honey. You want to say hi? Oh. Here she is. Isn't she cute? Mwah. She's like, what? What are you doing? We have a lot of fun. We go on runs, and we go to the dog park, and we go on hikes, and we snuggle. Dog. I get that question a lot, though. Okay, back to the live stream. Now that I snuggle with my puppy. Yes, Eden, the rest of the live stream will be posted on my channel. It automatically records it, and then I can like just make it public. So that's awesome. Oh, I actually wanted to ask you guys, so who are other diabetic YouTubers that you watch? Because like I said, I feel like there's not a lot. There's a couple. There's the Dale Tribe and Elise Gentry and Superbedic and Jen Greaves and Type 1 Teen. But what are some that you watch? Because I feel like there's just not enough. So if you're thinking of doing it, of doing a diabetes YouTube channel, please do it. There's really not enough of us. So yeah, Type 1 Lad says, come to Wales, I can host you. Oh, thank you. That'd be so nice. Andrew from Sly Fox. Oh, I have heard about that. That's like, what was I gonna say? Oh, they're like family vloggers, right? And then that's the dad and he's diabetic? I think so. I think so. Woo. Everybody knows what that is. Saying my blood sugar's high. Probably because I never bolus for my coffee. Yep, I'm gonna bolus for my coffee here. Because I actually had a little bit of a cup earlier and then it got cold, so I made another one. So I probably need to bolus at least a unit or two. I'll do 1.5. Okay. Frog just joined Beyond Type 1. Friend me. Hey girl, hey. I mean, hey boy, hey. Whoever. I don't know. Aaron Zunkling also said there's not enough diabetics on YouTube. Agreed. Agreed, agreed. So I'm going to leave in a little bit. I got some stuff to do today. On my days off, I always have a lot to do, I feel like, because during days that I work 12-hour shifts, and so there's just no extra time in the day once I'm off work. So I'm going to leave pretty soon, probably in like 8 minutes. So get your last queries in. I was also kind of wondering if, I don't know how many of you follow me on Facebook, but if you do, would you rather have live streams on Facebook or YouTube? I kind of like both. Facebook, it has to be on my phone, but it's like kind of nice. I don't know. It was just more convenient to set up, honestly. But this is fun too, and it's nice to have it on my laptop so I don't have to hold it with my hands. If you've had it both ways, if you've seen both, which one do you like more? I'd like to know. Piggy's Kisses XOXL. XOXO says, do you know a secondary language? I know American Sign Language. American Sign Language is awesome. I know a little bit of that. I only know the alphabet, really, and like thank you. But I took Spanish in high school, but do I know Spanish? Not really, very limited. I also took German in college for a tiny bit, so I know a little bit, but I am not fluent in any other language. But, oh, what is your blood sugar right now? It's 206 now. Samantha Ann says, when is the collab with the Dale tribe? I don't know. I can't remember if I said this. I probably didn't. We're thinking about it. They've been really busy, so hopefully it'll work out one of these times, but we'll see. No promises. Emily watches Dale Tribe, Type 1 Teen, the Sly Fox Family. Tips for going on a cruise. I actually have never been on a cruise. Oh my gosh, Amber's is being so cute. I'm sorry. I will answer this question. Look at her in her little playhouse. Can you see her? She's literally just laying in the entrance. Oh, her little legs are so cute. Okay. Anyway, tips for going on a cruise. Yeah, I've never been on a cruise, but I hope it goes well. It sounds fun. I've heard they're pretty affordable, actually. No problem, Erin. I love responding to questions. Thank you for asking questions. It makes these live streams so much better. Back when I didn't have that many subscribers, like I had way less and I did a live stream, I had to ramble a lot about nothing because there wasn't enough questions. And so especially at the beginning, I would just like talk about my life, which was fine. But like, I feel like the questions came in really slowly. But now that I have more people, I can answer questions a lot more quickly and there's more going on. Hi, honey. What are you doing? Come on. Good girl. She's getting hyper now. She's ready to play. Oh, you found that? Are you still a Taylor Swift fan? Yes, I am. Forever and always. Get it? Forever and always. It's a Taylor Swift song. Now I'm following you on Facebook. Cool, cool. My brother says, I know that feeling. Rambling is an art form when live streaming. So true. It's like you literally, sometimes before I would start, I would just think of a bunch of new updates in my life or like things that have been going on with my diabetes so I could talk about them before people got into the live stream. Because also, if you don't schedule it, like this one I scheduled, but if you don't schedule it, there's no one in the live stream when you first start. And so while you're just waiting for people to come in, I just be like, so lately my diabetes has been blah, 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 or like nursing school is going well, like stuff like that. So I do less of that now, which is helpful, but it just, I don't know, sometimes you have to, and it's fine, but it's cool. It's kind of cool to learn how to ramble, if that makes sense, and like hold a conversation with no one, because sometimes I have patients that are nonverbal and well, I guess you don't have to talk to them, but you should be talking to them even if they're nonverbal. And obviously like babies and stuff can't talk back, but you need to talk to them for their language development. And so it's helpful to like learn and practice how to talk without getting actual verbal feedback. But it's kind of weird, honestly. Like I'm literally sitting in my apartment talking to my computer nonstop for like an hour, and I'm not hearing any words back. But honestly, comments feel like words back, like because I can say things and you guys can respond, and so it's really cool. I like it. Type 1D Sarah says, tips for staying motivated. I'm struggling to keep motivated lately. I made a whole video on that. It's called When Diabetes Gets Difficult, 5 Ways I Stay Motivated. So I'm just going to let you look up that video and watch that after the live stream, because I'm going to be done in like 3 minutes. I hate to keep referring you guys to other videos, but I just feel like all my thoughts are like in that video. So it's nice to just have like a packaged thing to send you to, if that makes sense. So I would just check that out. Yeah. Yeah. Can a type 2 use a pump? I am on long-acting and fast-acting insulin. Angie Vance says that. They can eventually. Not a lot of type 2s use it, as far as I know. Just like there's a lot of type 2 diabetics, and then there's a smaller portion that use insulin at all. So there's an even smaller portion that use an insulin pump. But I have heard it happening. Happening? What is English? I have heard of that happening. So it's not unheard of. Boomers going back to work. Bye. Have a good day at work. Okay. We got 2 minutes, folks. Get your last questions in. I know I didn't do a full hour, but close enough. Last questions or comments or things you want me to know about you? What do you guys have planned for today? I am going to go look at a potential apartment because I might be moving. I'm going to get my hair cut. I'm going to get Amber's face trimmed and do laundry. Goodness, laundry, so annoying. Why do I have to do laundry so much? Ew, no. And then maybe hang out with my brother and sister-in-law tonight. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Do you have Instagram? I do. It's dmarieisme. I'll type it in the comments. It's just easier than spelling it out loud. That's my Instagram. dmarieisme. Ooh, what do you think of the Insight pump and Roche, I don't know how to say that, new announcement of a CGM? I saw Anna PS and like, I don't know how to say her name. Her name's Sophia, but Diabetesia, I don't know how to say her name, but she's a blogger, post about the new CGM they're gonna have, and it's really, really interesting. This is gross. I found a toy for my dog. It looks really interesting. I don't know, it looks really big. At first, the first picture, there was nothing to like show the scale of it, but then they showed it with someone holding it, and I was like, wow, it's like the size of an Omnipod, which is kind of crazy. But I guess if for some reason your country only allows you to get that type of pump, it'd be awesome to be able to get a CGM with it. So I think that's really cool to like increase the availability of CGM. But it just looks like a large device, and so I think that's kind of odd. The Insight pump, let me make sure I know which one that is. Let me look it up. Insight. AccuCheck Insight. Oh, that one. The color screen one, right? Let me make sure here. Yeah, that one. I honestly don't know that much about it. I just know that it's like an updated AccuCheck pump, which is great. So I'm all for that. Because like I said, sometimes you don't get a choice, at least in other countries, or maybe with your insurance, and you have to get the AccuCheck. I actually have never met anybody in the US with an AccuCheck pump, but I know a lot of other countries use it. And so it's probably good that they're updating. And I don't know what the new features on it are, so you'll have to let me know, but I know it's a color screen and it just looks more updated. So that's pretty cool. Someone's going geocaching later. That's awesome. Homework and cleaning a house is what Chris is going to do. Schoolwork and more schoolwork for Hannah. Alexandria Wright said, do you know of any blogs or vlogs that talk about women with type 1 diabetes who's pregnant? Yes, 6 until me. I will also type that in. She just had her second baby, but she was talking a lot about it, and she has a whole website, and she's awesome. So I would look at that. Okay, I really want to keep reading your questions, but I really have to go. So thank you guys so much for hanging out for a while with me in the live stream and asking questions and talking to me. It's really fun for me, and it always goes by really fast. And like, again, I'm sorry that I didn't do it last night like I was planning on. I'm sorry that I was late today because I forgot what time I scheduled it for, apparently. But yeah, I just appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for supporting me. And I will see you guys later. You want to see Amper's one more time? Just chilling. All right, talk to you guys later.